Raiders Rawport back again with another video here today, and what I want to do, man, is get right into it. This is Robert Spillane, linebacker of the Las Vegas Raiders, on Max Crosby's show, The Rush, and they are talking about right now Diablo, the linebacker, outside linebacker of the Las Vegas Raiders, right? And I think it's some good insight on Diablo because not a lot of people been talking about him. They haven't been really saying much about him, but the dude's been working hard like a lot of the Raiders players and has developed into a really good player. And when you got guys like Max Crosby saying this about Diablo, I think you better look out. You just better look out. Without further ado, let's get into this real quick. Raiders Rawport with Mitchell Benz. Ain't taking no motherfucking shorts. Giving it to you how only we can. Not like them other cats. Only like we do here. Let's get into this.
No, Divine's a freak, bro.
He's a freak.
He's a freak. He used to play safety in college, too. Some people don't know, but he was literally a safety, and then he moved to linebacker. And
it's a big safety.
Oh my
God. He's a huge linebacker.
Yeah. He's a huge linebacker. He reminds me of, like, build-wise and speed and things like that. He's like, it reminds me of Simmons from the Giants. Freak athlete, and he's only getting better. Like, I mean, Divine could be.
I could see him having a Pro Bowl year.
Oh, 100%.
Sure.
100%. People don't even realize how good that kid can be. And he puts in the work, so I totally agree, bro. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And people will sit back and be like, oh, well, they're teammates, so he's going to say good things about him. One thing, if you don't understand, the main thing about guys like Max Crosby, they are like Antonio Pierce, they are like Spillane, right? They're like Wilkins, they're like O'Connell. These guys are very much similar in that they are all fucking hungry, starving dogs. Right? They are dogs. And if you don't understand, like when Max Crosby says that about a player, about their working hard, that's the truth. He's not just saying it to build up his teammate. They are keeping it a buck. If you are not on this team busting your ass, working your ass off, you won't be in the building. That goes from the head coach all the way down to the fucking practice squad. It's just the way it is, right? And you see Crosby telling you what Diablo could be. I mean, the size he has, number one, the speed, the ability, the natural ability. And now he's going to put it all together, hopefully, with guys like Spillane around him, right? Guys like Crosby, guys like Wilkins, guys like Kuntz, other guys in the back of the defense. The defensive backs that have been there that are playing well, guys like Hobbs, guys like Merrick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. I love that. Now, I want to hear Robert Spillane touch on a little something else. So without further ado, let's get into that. This is the Raiders Rawport. We ain't fucking around. We ain't taking nothing less than the best. If you want that other crap, then go over there with Wi-Fi Weenie and Mitchell Renz and go get your shit over there. Over here, we do it a little bit different with a little bit of a twist, with a little bit more flavor, with some salsa, homie, with some chile. ¿Te gusta el chile, homie? A mí no. Let's get into this.
What we like to do on the show is try and like shed some light to the average viewer about the insights of defensive line play during the season. Right, we'll go through like the big sacks, and Max will break down exactly what happened. He'll talk about the technique. I think that I know that on the defensive side of the ball, linebacker is one of the most like oversought positions. It is very difficult to play linebacker, but to the average viewer, it's just like, oh, you just have to see ball, get ball, right? What's one of the most largest misconceptions by the average viewer about the linebacker position?
I love the question, first of all, and I appreciate the question because there is so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do with my family is to watch film and to break down film with them and to show them step by step what goes into each and every play.
Yeah.
And the intricacies and the different details that require 11 moving parts to fit together as one. And I guess you could say a common misconception some people might have is that you just line up there and play football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like not really understanding the different defensive calls that we have in. So I break it down into 10-step process, every single play that goes on in my head after, and it starts immediately at the end of the last play.
Okay.
So that's one reason I'm not a big celebrator, is because I'm a primary communicator on the defense, and I have to get everyone prepared for the next play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as that play ends, I'm thinking to myself, okay, now what is the down and distance? Where is the ball on the field? What is the time in the game? Are we in the first quarter? Are we late in the fourth quarter? And now I need to know, who do they have on the field? Do they have 11, 12, 13, 21 personnel on the field?
Yeah.
I get that monitored in my ear. Or we're going to go, which one of our packages are we going to play? Because we have different calls out of each one of our packages.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then so we're sending in, say, nickel or whatever. And next I have to get our call from the headset from our defensive coordinator, communicate that to our defensive players. And within that call, I now have to essentially set the D lineman, depending on the play call, left or right. And then secondary communication with the coverage people around me on what type of coverage we're in. So it's a lot that goes in.
Just so you fans know out there what it's like, he's giving great insight to what it's like being the middle linebacker of not just any defense, but the Raiders defense, being the quarterback of the defense, how he's got to get the play coming into his helmet. He's got to communicate it to the D-line, to the guys behind him, everyone around him. He's got to make sure everyone's in the right spot. If they're going left, they're going right. So now you guys can understand what it's like being the quarterback of the defense, right? Because they call the middle linebacker the quarterback of the defense. So he's basically doing the same thing the quarterback does on offense, except he doesn't have the ball in his hands. He's trying to make sure they call the right play and get the right positioning of the players to take that ball away from them, or to minimize the yardage, right? To minimize the yardage being gained. And to me, that is a great explanation of how you play the middle linebacker position, especially the heart that this guy has, how hard he plays, and his non-stop motor, just like Crosby. There's so many dogs on this defense. I love it. We'll bring some more of this stuff to you later. As for right now, tell me what you think about it. Like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down in the comment section. This has been the Raiders Raw-Port with Mitchell Benz, not to be confused with anyone else. Yo, anything else would be un-American and uncivilized. And if you ain't fucking with the Raiders Raw-Port, then you ain't fucking at all. And like we always do about this time, we out.